This meeting is being recorded.
I don't think I can hear it. Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, it's 11:02, correct?
Can anyone hear me?
We can hear you, Karyn.
There we go. Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. Welcome to our Saturday training, guys. We do this every Saturday at 11 a.m. So get your notebooks, get your devices, whatever you take your notes on, and you want to get this information down because you don't want to miss these speakers that we have today. You're going to get a bunch of great information. Guys, every week we talk about something different. We have a new speaker every week. All right, so make sure you are plugged in and not just on here. You want to make sure you're listening and you're taking the information down, okay? Because we can generally tell who's watching and who's getting information and who's not, right? So as you know, guys, we always start with the top 10 submit for the week. This is week 4 of September, right? So let's go ahead and go through that list. In the top 10, we have Kayla A at 7228. Number 9, Jamar Sims, $7,703. Garrett R, $8,000. Bradley M, $8,503. Me, KG Killer, $8,926. Will Crandell, $10,672. Rachel C, $12,041. Mike C, $12,553. Josh F, $23,456. And guess what, guys? There's only one number one. Ryan U, $62,091. That's in a week, right? So congratulations to the top 10, guys. Get your name up there. Everybody on this call can do it. You just got to go to work and do the numbers, right? So let's jump right in with some quick announcements. Guys, as you know, we've been getting a lot of discounts lately. And this is only if you have work spots. Guys, you have to be intentional about your business. You have to know that you're going to make money if you're going to work and do the numbers. So it's only $99 a month for work spots. That allows you to have a spot in your nearest office, wherever you live, where you can dial, you have an environment, you have leaders that can help you. You have access to a printer to print your leads. You have full access to an office, but most importantly, you get the discounts on the leads. Why pay full price when you can get the discount? All right, so you definitely want to have work spots. It's not a question, it is a must have, all right? Especially if you're serious here in business. The biggest thing that I want to talk about, guys, that's about to come up next week is the conference. It's October 4th. It's here in Maryland. You do not want to miss it. It's going to be a big deal. It's just one day. So if you don't live in Maryland, I suggest you get here. We ran a few already, and they're just growing each and every meeting. You want to invite people there with you. We're going to be doing live dials. This is a great training event, right? Because you get to bring your leads and get help right on the spot. We're going to dial with the first half of the meeting. And then the second half of the meeting, you're going to hear from leaders that are going to be speaking. These are top producers, all right now that are killing it, right? And they're going to tell you exactly what they're doing. They're going to go through every piece of this business, from dialing to the in-home to annuity. So if you don't want to miss this, because if you do, you're going to be 6 months to a year behind anybody else that didn't go. So you want to make sure you're there. It's October 4th. I believe that is on a Monday. Make sure you're there. Screenshot this. These are the speakers, guys. This is going to be an amazing event. You do not want to miss it. You want to get this information. If you're having trouble dialing, you need to be there. If you're having trouble in any part of this business or even getting started, you want to make sure you're there. All right. So guys, first we're going to go ahead and jump right in, all right, to our first speaker. I don't want to take any time away from him. I know you guys have seen him. He's brand new to the business. He's not brand new to insurance, but he literally just got contracted. He's still waiting for other carriers, but he decided to jump right on in. And in one day, Darren Henry in one day did over $12,000 on his first submit. That is insane. I've never had anybody do that. But he's going to talk about that, being plugged in, how he did that. So Darren Henry, if you can take about 5 minutes, go over that.
All right, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm like so super excited. Thing about it is, so being coachable was my first thing. I looked into it when I first heard about it. It sparked my interest, and just being coachable, staying plugged in is really how I seen such success my first day in. And guys, I'm actually on the move right now to go to some appointments. So, the opportunities there, the families are there. I want to definitely talk about dial days. A lot of this business is all about the dial, guys. I mean, you never know who you're going to talk to. I mean, you always know who you're going to talk to, but you never know how their mood's going to be. So at the end of the day, this just is all about fulfilling people's orders. And dial days, like, really helped me understand how to structure the appointment. It's kind of like providing structure when I'm talking to people. That really helped me, like, really get a solid appointment. So dial day is a very appointment. If you aren't dialing, guys, and nobody's making appointments, and this is just really for licensed agents, but if you have a license and you aren't dialing, you aren't calling people, there's no way anybody will make money here. I didn't know how this thing was going to work. I'm brand new to FFL. I'm definitely still super excited about FFL. And, my first day in the business just made me even more excited. And now I just know, hey, I just got to go to work. I just got to put in more work to get more out of it. I'm not sure what everybody's goal here is, but I know my goal is just to be financially free, guys. And, that means everything for me. That means everything for my family. So, this isn't a short-lived thing. Just because I made $12,000 in one day doesn't mean I'm going to go on vacation. Guys, I'm still excited. I'm happy about that. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, you got to keep that momentum going. And, I don't want to lose the weight of this train. So, I'm trying to take things over like a wave, guys. So I just want to pick up from everybody. I plug into all of the YouTube podcasts, Kylie's, Karyn's, everything that's on FFL USA. I mean, guys, I literally listen to podcasts on how to do appointments and dial-ins and tune in when we got dial days on Monday and Thursday. So, guys, I mean, those days are important, but that's literally the blood of our business. Like, that's like the bottom of it. Without that, there's no survival. And then, as far as being in the field, guys, I'm not going to be able to get enough of this. It's not yet. I'm not even full. I'm trying to go full speed. I'm just trying to learn and actually be able to do what I see, the leaders doing, in our hierarchy, in our organization. So, I'm super excited. And that's pretty much what I got for today, guys. Take it from there, Karyn.
So let me ask you a question, Darren. So I know when you were in the in-home, right? And what was that experience like for you? This is your first appointment. You really don't. You've been watching so many videos. You've been listening. How long did it take for you to get contracted?
Well, I mean, that's somewhat my fault, but I mean, it took a minute for me to get contracted. But I mean,
roughly how long would you say?
I just say maybe a few weeks.
I think it was longer than a few weeks.
You think it was it probably was, yeah. I mean, it was a slow process. I just wanted to make sure that I had the main carriers that I learned from, staying plugged in and listening to, you carry the leadership. And that's when I just knew, I'll be ready. But I mean, I had to wait some time. I guess it probably was at least 6 weeks, maybe 6-7 weeks, something like that. But, I mean, that it was worth the wait. And during that time, I mean, I just stayed just on the move, just trying to make money, just to make ends meet. I said, my whole thing was, I understood you needed at least from the chart, going to FFL Agent Hub and seeing what you need to start with. Or, if you're on a budget, guys, how you can start and, the type of leads you can actually buy. So, you know, I said, hey, so I actually took like $700, guys, and I bought some leads.
How'd you make your $700?
Say that again.
How'd you make your $700?
I made my $700 grinding. I mean, guys, I was just doing stuff like just working for myself, mounting TVs. I mean, building furniture. I mean, all kind of stuff. I mean, guys, if you really want to win, all you got to do is just stay plugged in and do whatever it takes to get to the next step. I mean, that's really it. I mean, all I knew is me staying plugged in, me staying plugged in. I knew that I had to have an investment, so I had to keep investing into my business. So, guys, this thing is real. As far as the people that we can help, I helped somebody yesterday. It was unbelievable who I helped yesterday, you know, and all the different implications that this guy had. But I mean, guys, I mean, we can help so many people. So, I mean, this thing is huge. It's epic. It's a tsunami. What other questions you got, Karyn?
So I know I'm just impressed because, you know, the average person that said, I don't, you know, you come from another insurance company, you weren't making any money at all.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I can talk about that definitely, guys. So, you know, I was in an insurance company. You know, I'm not going to say any names, but over there, you know, they got a whole system. I mean, you gotta pay someone to get in, you know, and then you gotta use up your home market. They get paid. You get a little something on the back end, but that's when you get your license. So you watch other people make money from your people. Then when you run out of those people, guys, which it does happen. So things do slow down. I mean, then you're on a 50%. You start off on a 25% contract where I'm coming from. And you had to sacrifice some people just in order for you to get a 50% contract. You know, and then, you know, it's always up and down. I mean, it's been so many policies that I can sell to my aunt, or, you know, I can sell to my mom, right? So, guys, I mean, this thing, it's a whole map. Like I said before, I mean, this thing is like, it's phenomenal. How many people we can help out? I mean, the work, it's tons of work. It's tons of people, families to help. It's crazy. So, guys, if you don't have a license, you want to get in this thing now. Like you want to get your license within like 7 days. Give yourself a week. I mean, if you want to give yourself the chance, you really could change your time, your life, your family, by just being persistent and just staying motivated, guys. I mean, there's nothing better than helping people out and knowing at the back end that you're helping out your own family. So, you know, me, myself, I'm more motivated than ever right now. And guys, like I said, I can't even think about, I'm thinking like, wow, well, you know, this happened for a reason. But guys, man, if I can go back in time, there's no way in the world I would have ever started from where I started from, guys. I mean, this right here, this is a hidden gem. Everybody needs to know about this. You got friends and family, man, send them a podcast, a YouTube video, guys. I mean, you got to literally expose this thing 21 times online just for someone to be aware about it, guys. I mean, you can make it happen easily. Use your social media.
I'm glad you said that. Hold on, Darren. I'm glad you said that because you told me no at first, right? So
I told her no at first.
Talk about that. But what attracted you to the business?
What attracted me to the business was that really you didn't have to press me out. You didn't give the assumption like you needed me more than I needed you. And the opportunity, everybody needs that opportunity. So I believe that you knew about the opportunity, and when you push guys, people push back. You know what I mean? So it took me, I would definitely say it took about a year. Because I know you went over FFL like 2020, right?
2019.
2019. And I know it was right before the COVID and stuff happened, guys. I mean, things changed. Nothing remains the same. And guys, I believe that the system that I come from, you know, it's good, but it's outdated. It's older than me. And this thing is new, it's brand new, guys. You want to get in the beginning, you want to get in now. I don't really know if there's much more.
That's it. No, you did it. You hit it on the nose. And listen, again, congratulations for all your success. But thank you for being an example of just plugging in, doing all the right things, and and jumping out there, because your results, you got exactly what you deserve, because you've been doing everything, you've been following the system pretty much. So guys, you heard from Darren. He's brand new, over 12,000 in one day. That's amazing. We can have a lot more people on here doing the same thing, but like he said, you just got to follow the system. So again, Darren, great job. Okay. All right. So the next speaker that I'm going to bring up, guys, you all are very familiar with her. She is our Senior Vice President, Kali. She is going to go over the underwriting guidelines and cheat sheet. And let me tell you why. We get so many questions of people calling and they're not looking at their cheat sheet. They don't know how to read their cheat sheet, right? And so you're going to get that information today. So Kali, are you there?
Hey, Karyn, I'm here. Thank you.
Yay. Hey, girl. Hey.
Hey, everybody. Darren, congratulations. Great job. I want to make sure everybody heard that that's not just one day sales for Darren. That was Darren's first day in the field. Like, Karyn, I don't think you hit on that enough. Because I don't think I've ever, Darren, see anybody write that much on their first day in the field. Like, I think you literally broke a record, at least for Fury. I know you did for Fury. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about the whole company, but you definitely broke a record for FFL Fury having the biggest sale on your first day. So congratulations, Darren. And it does go back to being coachable. You're welcome. It does go back to following the system, right? Because and plugging in, and you know what I'm saying, and then calling from the home. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the biggest thing, is that you didn't do that sale on your own, did you, Darren?
Yeah, I actually had some help. Trying to figure out what
you were there by yourself, but Karyn helped you on the phone, right? Exactly.
Yeah, she definitely helped me. Nobody's alone in this.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you could have easily left that appointment and not made a phone call and then not closed anything, from what I understand. Because the guy wasn't that easy, from what I understand from the situation. So,
I had some very challenging clients, guys, and I'm glad I was able to help them out. I was more than excited. I told them congratulations, man. I really felt like I made a difference in somebody's life.
Absolutely, that's what we do. Thank you so much, Darren. Thank you, Karyn, for introducing me. So today, guys, I'm going to go over really quickly the cheat sheets. And this is, like Karyn says, this is the question that we get most often, is when people call and ask, which product should we use? What product do I use? So I'm gonna walk you guys through the steps, and the steps that I take to get to find the answer to the questions. Because the thing, when you call, and that's fine. Call if you don't know the answer. But when you call, we're going through the same steps as you, by looking at the cheat sheet to find. And if we don't already know the answer, looking at the cheat sheet to find the answer on what company is going to cover your client. And I'm not sure everybody wants to write this down. Is that number one? Our very first look is we always look at Americo. Americo is number one, whether it's a final expense appointment, whether it's a mortgage protection appointment, whether it's just a regular life insurance appointment. Americo is always what we look at first. And if the client does not qualify for Americo, then we start looking for other products outside of Americo. I can tell you, in most cases, and this is, again, just good information to know, in most cases, America, a Mutual of Omaha, if someone is looking for price, so if you got a client that already has life insurance and they are shopping around to get a better price, you want to look at Mutual of Omaha first in that specific situation, because Mutual of Omaha generally has the least expensive costs out of the other carriers. So that's just kind of like two little tricks and tips that you guys definitely want to know. Americo's always first, unless somebody's shopping around for price. If they're shopping, not just anybody, but I'm saying, like I said, if they already have a policy and they're saying, hey, I want to know if I can get a lower rate, you want to start with a Mutual of Omaha. Hope that makes sense to everybody. So I'm going to pull up the cheat sheet that is on the hub. And so, guys, I know some people print this out. I don't have it printed out because I know that it changes. And so hold on a second. I'm having trouble with sharing. Let me see. The cheat sheet changes. So let me do this real quick. Hold on, y'all. I'm getting some crazy message when I try to share my screen. All right, maybe this is what we need. All right, can y'all see my phone screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, we see
Perfect,
you.
thank you.
Yes.
Yep, you
Okay.
good.
So, some people print the cheat sheet out. I don't suggest to do that because to me it's easier if it's digital. And like I said, it does change. So the underwriting cheat sheet, all the underwriting guides, if you go to FFLagenthub.com, that is where you find all of the information that you need. FFLagenthub.com. And guess what? I believe Monday morning we have a new hub. It's going to be even more. It's going to be better. It's going to have more things on it. But FFL Agent Hub will redirect you to the new FFL Agent Hub. So you don't have to worry about a new link. You just use this link and it'll take you to the new website. So you're going to look at underwriting guides. And then there's 2 cheat sheets on here, guys. And this is where people kind of get confused. This cheat sheet, the first one that comes up is, you see it says check the final expense WL cheat sheet in gray. This is whole life. So when you have a client that's final expense, or maybe they can't get covered by term, this is the cheat sheet that you want to look at, is the whole life cheat sheet, right? And then there's the MP cheat sheet, which is mortgage protection. So this is term insurance. So depending on what the client is, depending on their age, their health, that's going to determine what they're looking for. That's going to determine what cheat sheet that you're going to use. But there are 2 different cheat sheets, and they have 2 different there's 2 different guidelines for the different products. So if you look at the mortgage protection cheat sheet and then you try to run Miracle Eagle, because Miracle Eagle is final expense and they get declined, it's because you were looking at the wrong cheat sheet. And they're completely different, guys. But I'm going to go over for the simplicity, for simplicity purposes. I'm going to be looking at the final expense cheat sheet, the whole life cheat sheet today. And I'm going to see who I have on the phone. I'm going to need a volunteer. So here's something that a lot of people don't know. These 3 dots at the top, if you press on them and you click find, you can find the name of the condition in the document without having to search through the document. So I had somebody yesterday, we were trying to find out about, the day before yesterday, somebody had a client that was mentally retarded. And so I looked for retarded, and that's not here, and I'm not trying to be offensive or anything like that, but that's what we were looking for. And we couldn't find that word in here, so I looked for mental, and so I was able to find, let's see, Down syndrome, but they did not have Down syndrome, even though the agent said that they were mentally retarded. So we looked at Down syndrome, and then Down syndrome says see mental incapacity. So I'm going to go now to mental incapacity. Okay, so here is mental incapacity / retardation. So here's the thing, guys. If you had your paper in front of you, you might not have been able to find the answer to this if you were using a paper. But because you're using it online and you can just search for the words you're looking for, that's how we were able to find the answer. So if we look at a Miracle Eagle and the person is at least 50 years old, I'm going to talk to Jamie about getting this updated to have ages on it, because that's the only thing I believe that the cheat sheet is missing, is the age that you need to be in order to qualify for the product, but I can tell you guys, and you probably want to write this down too. Mutual of Omaha Living Promise starts at age 45 years old. And if somebody can put this in the chat, one of the leaders, if you can put this in the chat as well, this will be helpful. Living Promise, Mutual of Omaha Living Promise starts at age 45. Americo Eagle Premier, which is, this is all whole life guys. Eagle Premier starts at age 50. Prosperity, New Vista product starts at age 50. Aetna, their Final Expense product starts at age 40. American Amicable, I believe, starts at age 50. And Transamerica Immediate Solutions starts at age 18. The reason I didn't mention Forrester is because that's not a product that we use or we really like using. It is available. And I would say that that's something you want to use on a very limited case-by-case basis. But if you have these ages, you have a place to start, right? So I'm going to look for a volunteer real quickly. Let me see who we got on here. Does anybody want to volunteer before I take a volunteer?
I can
I
volunteer.
volunteer.
Okay, who's that? Damon?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, Damon. All right, so Damon, you're going to be the client and I'm the agent. So
Okay.
tell me, well, how old? Okay, so Mr. Parker, how old are you?
44.
You're 44. Okay. And do you have what are your health issues?
Mental retardation. You want me to use the one you using?
You can,
you
that's
just
fine.
Okay.
So you're mentally retarded, Mr. Parker?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay. So I'm going to 5. I mean, we already went through the most of this part. But look at this. So who did I say, Damon? Who's the first company that we always look at first?
America.
Okay, but you're 44 years old, so would you qualify for America?
Not at all. It's Mutual Omaha.
Nope. Well, you're 44. Mutual Omaha starts at 45.
Yeah.
45. Do you qualify for Mutual Omaha?
Nope, not yet.
Okay. Aetna would take you. I mean, Aetna might take you because Aetna starts at age 40, but mental retardation is a decline. Who do you go with?
I'm thinking I'm gonna go ahead and use AIG.
Well, AIG starts at age 50.
Oh yeah, true.
Anybody have any suggestions? What would you do?
Liberty, Great Western.
What about Transmedica?
No, this is for mental retardation, right?
Yes, Transamerica is a decline.
CFG.
CFG is decline as well, even though that's not on here.
Oh,
Somebody
I
said
can't
it.
see
Somebody
it.
said it. Great Western, even though that's not on here. So that was kind of like a trick question. Great Western's not on here. Great Western, guys, is guaranteed issue, and it starts at age 40.
Oh.
So in this situation, that would be what we would go with. All right, Damon, let's do another example. How old are you?
Boy, I'm gonna switch. You want me to switch my age or stay the same?
Yeah.
Stay the same?
No, make it 50, over 50.
I'm 65.
You're 65?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What kind of health issues you got, Mr. Damon?
Kidney issues.
Kidney issues. Okay. Let's see what the cheat sheet says. Where's my thing? Where's my search? I don't know how. Hold on. So you have kidney. And sometimes, guys, we got to play a little bit of detective work to get some more information because people are only going to answer as much questions as you ask them, right? Because they think what they say too much, it might disqualify them. So sometimes you have to dig a little bit deeper. So, Mr. Damon, are you on dialysis? Are you getting dialysis for your kidneys?
No, not at all.
No, okay. So let's see what else they got. So do you have kidney disease, Mr. Damon, or kidney failure?
Kidney failure.
Kidney failure, okay. So it looks
It's fake
like in
news
this
too, though.
situation, you said what?
I said it's fake news. I ain't speak this on myself. It's for
No, we know.
information.
We know. This is not happening to Damon. Amen.
Let's put that out there.
Yeah.
I got a quick
So
question.
let's
What's
let me finish. Let me
I got
finish
you.
real quick there. So under Forsters, right? And I even say that's what we don't want to look at, but Forsters is the one in this situation that looks like they may cover them at a standard rate. So guys, if you see, well, number one, everybody knows what decline means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteed issue. So when you see here's something, so this is another note that you want to take. Americo Eagle Premier will approve people for a guaranteed issue product, but we do not use that product. So even though it says guaranteed issue, you want to, again, somewhere in your notes, you want to mark it out or cross it out or whatever you need to do, but we do not do the guaranteed issue product with Americo because it's insanely expensive. So you want to look for another company, so either Prosperity or Great Western or AIG for somebody who needs guaranteed issue. Because guaranteed issue basically means there's no checks on their medical. They're just gonna run it. They're just gonna approve them no matter what. But like with Americo's guaranteed issue, the other thing besides it being extremely expensive, it also has a 3-year wait period. And so, like, if you have a client that has to have a wait period, AIG has a 2-year wait, Great Western have a 2-year wait. So you want to put the client, even if they have major health issues, you want to put them in the best position possible.
Kelly,
Let me
if
finish. I'll get to the
uh
questions in a minute. So Forsters, it looks like Forsters plan right will cover them standard. So in this specific situation, you would want to start with Forsters plan right. Because Mutual Omaha is a decline. Americo, again, we're not going to use their guaranteed issue product, so we're not even going to look at that. Prosperity is graded. So you could look at Prosperity, but if we could get an immediate coverage for the client, that's what we want to get is an immediate coverage. Let me get some of these questions real quick. I know Darren, you had a question. All right, Muthana, go ahead with your question.
My bad. I just had to I'm switching screens on the GPS. I was saying, what does the not ask me? Do that mean like I can still put an app in and they not gonna ask that question?
Exactly. So they don't ask the question on it. That means it's going to probably go through because it's not. So you're not. So you don't have to lie on the application and say like under jail incarcerated, right? Under Mutual Omaha, it's a decline. Under America, it's a decline. But under Prosperity, they don't even ask the question. So in that case, Aetna doesn't ask the question about jail, right? American Amicable is a decline. Forces is not asked, and Transamerica is a decline. So because they don't ask the question, that means you can go ahead with because that's not a part of their underwriting process if they don't ask the question. Does that make sense, Darren?
Yeah, that was my question you asked.
Okay, perfect. Guthana, go ahead.
So Kelly, we don't write the Americo guaranteed and the Mutual of Omaha graded, right? Both of them, whenever they pop up, we just go to any other company that we can go with. Okay.
Good catch, Muthana. That is absolutely correct. So we don't use the Mutual Omaha graded either because the same thing is expensive. And I think Mutual Omaha is graded as 3 years as well. We don't use those two products. So thank you, Muthana. That was an amazing question. Do we have any other questions? Because I do need to turn it over to Karyn in a minute. But any more questions that we have? Because again, this is the thing that we get the most questions about is which company, which carrier to use. And I know this is not going to answer all of your questions going through it, but hopefully you seeing it and understanding when we're on an appointment, how we use the cheat sheet to find the answer to which company, which product do we use. That's what we do. Another tool, and this is not a Family First Life tool, guys. This is just something that we have discovered and someone has told us about it. There is a resource called the FEX. So like final expense, FEX. F is in Frank, E is in Edward, X is in X-ray. The FEX toolkit.com. The FEX toolkit, basically you can put in the age of the client, you can put in their medications, you can put in their medical history, and it will tell you which companies will carry the client, will cover the client. Now, so it has every insurance company in there, like that will cover the client. So it's not specific to Family First Life, but if you use the FEX toolkit, you can look and see out of the companies that Family First Life has, which companies will approve this client based on their medical history. So I believe the FEX toolkit is $30 a month, but a lot of times, guys, again, someone calls me, they ask me which product they should use, which company, which carrier. I'm putting the information myself into the FEX toolkit if I don't know the answer immediately to get the answer. So there's a lot of resources. And then we also, guys, we have the agent. Can somebody please post this stuff in the chat, please? We have the agent hotline. So somebody please post a number for the agent hotline in the chat. And then also in Slack, there is the agent, let me see, what's called the in-home hotline in Slack, right? So people go in here, you go in here and you post your questions. I have Jennifer Felton says, okay, guys, I have a 64-year-old female, a male with kidney stones, 63-year-old male, no medical condition. Neither takes meds, but male will decline by Bishop Omaha. Who do I go with, right? So there you go. Again, like there's so many different ways to get the answer to your questions, as far as, you know, who to use, which company to use, and like these resources are available. So when people get scared about going out because they don't know who to use and why to use it, guys, use your resources that we have available. Any more? Let's see somebody else. Okay, Sandra posted some other stuff in the chat. Thank you. So any other questions really quickly, and then I'm gonna pass. If not, I'll pass it over to Karyn.
Hey, Kylie.
I have a question.
Okay. Damon, I heard you first, and I got you, Shonda.
When you're using, because I use the FES toolkit, when you're using it, if they have multiple issues, is there a way, like if they say they have kidneys, diabetes, and they're on COPD or whatever, is there a way where you can put all of those in there? Because I haven't been able to find out. I'm just, to put all three, illnesses in there.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, yeah. We can, I mean, I can't do it. We can't do it right now, Damon, but I can definitely show you how to do that. Yeah, they definitely can put multiple medical issues, multiple medications, all that kind of stuff in there.
Okay, cool.
Okay. You're welcome. Shonda.
Hi, Kylie. So my question is, the probing questions, like, so I have that form that you gave me, the final expense form that we asked the general questions, but one of the problems that I had this week was, even with asking that, customers or clients still lie. So I had asked Karyn, how do you like start the probing to like really get them to tell you the truth about their medical situation?
So what I say to the client is, I'll say, okay, so Shonda, like, I do the whole spiel at the beginning. My job is to, figure out who you qualify out of the companies that I work with, shop around to see who's going to give you the best rate. That's my spiel, right? Mm-hmm. And so, so when I start asking medical questions, so I'm gonna be like, Shonda, I gotta get into your business a little bit, okay?
Okay.
We role playing this, Shonda.
Okay.
So Shonda, I'm gonna get into your Miss Shonda, I gotta get into your business a little bit today so I can make sure that we pair you with the right company, okay?
Okay.
And so the other thing, I need you to be honest with me about your medical conditions, because most likely I'm gonna be able to cover you today, but I just need to make sure that you tell me everything that I need to know so we can save us a lot of time, right? Because
Okay.
if you give me, you know, if you don't tell me everything, we're going to continue to try these different companies that may not approve you. And then the other thing, Ms. Shonda, is that they're going to, these companies are going to pull your medical record and your prescription history. So anything that you don't tell me, I'm going to find out anyway. Oh, is that fair?
Fair.
So I'm letting them know, like, they're going to find this information out. And another question that you want to add, and it's not on the sheet, is I always ask, what medications have you been prescribed that you're not currently taking?
Mm-hmm.
Because just because they're not taking the medication doesn't it's still in their it's still in their prescription history if they were prescribed it, right? So that's a question that I add, Shonda. What medications are you taking? What medications have you been prescribed that you may not be currently taking?
Right. That helped me a lot, because when I called you guys, I went back and I asked that question, and you're right. And so she did. That's when she started coming forthcoming about what she was on or what she has been on. So
right.
But
so
the problem for me,
you know, go ahead.
But the problem for me was the initial probing. So I'm glad I asked that question, because that right there, what you said, would have prevented everything that transpired and the decline and all that stuff. It would have prevented that. I would have known where to go from there. So
it's okay. And that's why we tell you, you need to go on your first 100 appointments, right? And you're going to make a lot of mistakes throughout the process, so that you know. So now you know, Shonda, next time that's a question that you need to ask, right? And then even like me, some of the things, when you do this for so long, you start getting lazy with stuff, right? And so you'll have some stuff that kind of kick you in the face where I might not ask that question, right? And then I might not make that statement, and then I go and run that stuff. I believe everything they say, and I go and run through America, and they get declined, and I gotta kind of backtrack and be like, oh man, why didn't I ask that, right? So no, so you're exactly right. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it goes back to being coachable, being plugged in, and reaching out when you need help, because you don't know what you don't know. So by you asking that question, Shonda, you said the next time, now you know going forward, you're not going to make that mistake again. Now, do you have control over people lying to you? They're going to still lie, but now you'll have less people that are lying to you. Right. If that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Who else got their hand up? Let's see. Oh, okay, Shonda, and then Melissa. So take your question. We got to turn it over to Karyn.
Okay, my question is, you mentioned the carrier that would cover somebody who was incarcerated, but what if the person has a felony and they're not they're not locked up, but they have a felony? Is it carriers that will decline them? Because I know somebody who told me that they had a problem getting their son covered because he has he had prior convictions.
So we gotta look at the cheat sheet, Melissa. Like, a lot of stuff I don't know offhand, because you don't run into it that often.
Okay.
And so you want to start back with the cheat sheet and look for felony under the cheat sheet, and then that'll tell you who will cover them, or if they ask the question on that. We just went through that, right? So I believe Edna doesn't ask anything.
Okay.
Hey, Edna didn't ask any questions. Hey, Edna didn't ask anything. Hold on a second. Hold on, y'all. Edna didn't ask anything about felonies, and there was another company that did not ask anything about felonies. So it's on the cheat sheet. So if the cheat sheet says it, that's your resource to try that company. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. Yes. Okay. This is the last question, guys. And then any question that you have after this, just reach out to your manager with your questions. We want to answer all of them, but we're on a time crunch. Thank you, Melissa. Tosh.
Hey, to answer, what was the lady's name that was just asking the question about if someone was incarcerated or if they're out but still on papers?
Well, she said felony.
Melissa. Felony. Okay. Hi, Melissa. I literally just had a client that I closed last night through America, and I didn't think it was gonna go through, but I called Karyn and asked her for help because when I got to that question where it asked if the client had been like recently incarcerated or released within the last 10 years, and I answered yes, but he was actually incarcerated and released back in the late 90s, but still on parole.
Well, hold on. So
but
Taj, let me stop you real quickly, because right now you're talking about term, and right now this whole discussion is about final expense. So that was a term product that you're referring to. So that's a completely different cheat sheet. It's a completely different set of standards that they go by. So that's a different situation.
Okay.
Thank you, though. Appreciate your feedback. Thank you for your help. Okay. All right. So,
No
guys,
problem.
with that being said, like I said, if you have more questions, you want to definitely reach out to your manager with questions that you have about the cheat sheet, how to read it, that kind of thing. But with that being said, Karyn's going to take the last few minutes and she's going to go over how to oh, I forgot. Karyn. Go on, Karyn.
All right, guys, I know we got a few minutes left. So, guys, what I'm going to jump into, and please take notes, is doing things virtually, right? I know you guys have seen me closing virtual appointments. I've been closing virtual appointments before the pandemic, but I kind of have like more of structure, if that makes any sense, now that we're transitioning or we've added this virtual platform with FFL because of COVID and different things of that nature, right? Some people have kids, some people have families, people have preferences. We believe here it is your choice, that, you know, depending on how comfortable you feel, whether you're going out in the field or whether you decide to be home doing virtually, I'm just gonna talk to you about that aspect because some people don't feel comfortable. Some people do have kids and have a schedule. I know kids are in school now. So it's so many different things, guys, but I just definitely want to touch on this so you guys understand how the virtual platform works. There are tons of videos on YouTube. There's podcasts, there's lives. It's so much information out there. I suggest after getting this information from me that you go and watch as many videos as possible. But I like to keep it simple and I'm gonna go over pretty much what I do. So there are different types of platforms that you can use. I'm sure there's more than what I'm about to list, but these are all the ones that I use, like FaceTime. I use a lot of Zoom, Messenger, Duo, WhatsApp, etc. So if you're looking to do virtual, I suggest you start out doing hybrid. What that means is that, yes, go out in the field, but add a day where you're just doing virtual, all virtual, right? Because and a lot of people, they have so many questions about it and they make it so complicated. And virtual sales is not complicated. It's only complicated if you think it's complicated. And ultimately what you think is complicated, you don't end up ever really doing. So you have to try this, right? Yeah, you might fail a few times. Yeah, you're gonna have to, you know, work it until you get it right. But when you get it right, you will. I know it took me a little bit, but eventually I got it. So those are the different type of basic platforms that I use. Go through them, test them out, play around with them so that you understand how they work, so that when you have a client and you're going to set up the appointment, and I'm gonna jump into that real quick, which is a script, you know, you can throw a couple out there. If they're not familiar with the two that you throw out there, then you ask them what they're comfortable with. So this is pretty much how my script goes. Damon, I'm gonna use you since I see your video up on the screen. Can you unmute for me?
Gotcha.
Okay, so I'm gonna pretty much book a virtual appointment with you. All right, ring, ring, ring. Damon?
Hello.
Hi, Damon. My name is Karyn. I was giving you a quick call back from the Benefits Center in Prince George's County, Maryland. How you doing today?
I'm okay.
Good, good. Really quickly, I was giving you a call back about the request you put in online for the state affordable life insurance programs. You put your date of birth as 10/19/1984. Is that correct?
That's it.
Okay, perfect. Were you requesting this information just for you or for you and your family?
Just for me.
Just for yourself. Okay, perfect. All right. So they actually have me to give you this information tomorrow. Takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Damon, very quickly, I used to be able to travel and go out and see families, but unfortunately, due to COVID, they have us doing everything virtual. So which platform works better for you? FaceTime or Zoom?
Probably FaceTime.
FaceTime? Okay, perfect. So here's what I'm going to do, Damon, right? I got about 15 others to actually do a virtual appointment with that day. Other than an emergency, is there any reason you won't be able to keep that appointment? Uh-oh, he's breaking up. Okay. So then he'll say, no, there's no other reason why I wouldn't be able to keep that appointment. Then I'll say, okay, great. This is what I'm going to do. And I use Thad's method on this, right? This is what I'm going to do. I am going to, are you on a phone? Are you on a cell phone or a landline, Damon?
This is my cell phone.
Perfect. Okay, so I can text this cell phone?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, FaceTime, guys, if he said Zoom, then I would ask, are you going to be on a laptop or a phone? That determines whether I'm going to email him or text him the information. But because he says FaceTime, he's going to be on his phone. So I'll say, okay, great, Damon, what I'm going to do is I'm going to text you my ID badge and I'm going to text you my state license so that you can verify me before we start this appointment tomorrow. Is that okay? Is that fair?
That sounds great.
Perfect. Okay, go ahead and grab a pen for me. I'm going to give you my information, all right, so that you don't forget about our appointment tomorrow. And then
Gotcha.
that's how I book my appointments virtually, okay? Now, yes, you may have to book more appointments. I watch a lot of Linda Lampasso's videos. If somebody can put her name down there, she's been doing a lot of virtual videos. She's completely virtual from home. She always talks about booking at least 10 or more appointments so that you will have a great showing, because ultimately, guys, we're not knocking on doors. We're doing it over the phone. So it's not like we can go to their home and, see why they're not answering, right? But guess what? If they don't answer and they don't honor their appointment, you can always call and follow up throughout the week. That's what I do as well, because you never know, things happen. So as far as the process, guys, it's pretty simple. Whichever one that you're using. If I'm using Zoom, I like to share my screen so that the client can see everything that I'm typing in. Because sometimes when you're on the phone, you can't really, and they're giving their information, you may miss a number, miss a letter, and then that's more work for you where you have to go back and have to fix an application. So I do most of my appointments on Zoom. I at least try to. But like I said, if they're not, familiar, like I got a few today, some on Messenger, but two on FaceTime, and the rest is on Zoom. So the process is pretty simple, guys. When we start the appointment, guys, we don't have time. I let them know, listen, how you doing today? I'm excited to be able to help you. I'm very bubbly, right? And then I jump like, hey, we're going to jump right on them because I do have about 15 other families to go and see. Okay, Damon, go ahead and unmute for me so I can talk to you like you're my client.
Okay.
Okay, perfect. So hi, Damon. I'm excited to be able to help you and your family out, or yourself out, to get you this insurance, right? Did you have a chance to verify my credentials?
Yeah, I looked them over. Everything looks good.
Perfect. Do you have any questions?
No, not at all.
Okay, perfect. So guys, I jump in with, and I got this from Thad and I got this from Kristen, right? We jump in to find out their why, okay? So, hey, what had you shopping around for life insurance? Why now? What's on your heart and mind, Damon?
I just want to make sure that I had a few benefits.
Okay, his phone is breaking up, guys. So he had a few, okay, go ahead, Damon. We can hear you now. All right, he's back to being frozen.
Wanted to make sure.
All right, we got you. Your phone was breaking up.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure things were in place, this time for sure.
Okay, perfect. And so if something happened yesterday and I came today, who would be the person taking care of everything?
It would be me.
No, if you died yesterday and I came today, who would be the person taking care of everything?
Oh, it would be my wife.
What's your wife's name?
Keela.
Okay, guys. Now, when it's a married couple, guys, we typically don't do one-legged appointments because married couples make decisions together. It's very hard to close a one-legged appointment, and you really want to have both together too, because if something does happen to the spouse and he just signed up for life insurance, most time men don't tell their wives what they signed up for, and the wife does not know where to go to look for the insurance. So you want to have husband and wife there. So Damon, let's just use your daughter for an example, right? Let's say your daughter's name is Kali, right? So what I'm hearing, Damon, is that in the event you pass sooner than later, and when you go, you don't want to leave Kali with a financial burden to struggle financially. Is that what I'm hearing? Is that fair? He's going to say yes. Okay, great. So this is what we're gonna do today, right? We're gonna go through your health information, all right, because these are programs you have to qualify for. We're gonna review your financial need. We're gonna go over what options are available and pricing, and then we're gonna help apply with the carrier. So what that means is that, Damon, even though I'm your first underwriter, I'm gonna ask you some medical questions and choose the company. The company is the one that makes the ultimate decision. So we will have to put in a 5-minute application. It's gonna require your personal information, Damon. It's gonna require your name, your social, and the bank that you would like to use. Now, this is non-medical, no blood work, and no money down, right? If you want to put money down today, that's even better, because that's, you can start your program sooner. But my job is to lock your health information in to get you approved into a program that meets your needs. Is that fair? He's going to say yes. And I'm going to say, am I able to move forward? He's going to say yes. Okay, perfect. And then, guys, I go right through the application. Now, when I go through the application, the client is not with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send in, it's an option on each carrier where if they're not physically present with you, they can sign in their email. So all I'm going to do is press send email. Some require codes, some don't. And they're going to sign their program electronically, and we're going to get them done that way. Then I email them my policy summary after we're finished. And then that is pretty much the process. Does anybody have any questions about the virtual script, as well as the virtual process when selling to a client?
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
So Karyn, can I still get away with doing the same amount of appointments, or do I need more appointments to do if I'm going to do virtual?
Right. So I know the average person books about 8 to 10 appointments. For the newest person, if you're going to try virtual, I would book at least 10 to 15, because again, these people have the luxury of just not answering their phone. So you want to put the odds in your favor. The more appointments you book, the more you'll sit on, or the more you'll get on your phone with. So I would at least set 10 or more.
And also, if I'm new, should I start in the field or should I start with virtual?
So if you're new, I highly suggest you start in the field, because that's where you're going to have the most success. Again, the field is way better because, number one, these people, they're home, right? And if they're not answering the phone, you can knock on the door and they'll answer, right? So you're more likely to get a better showing if you're going to people's home. But if you absolutely cannot, like, I understand some people have been diagnosed with COVID, like I said, some people have kids, whatever works for your situation. But if you can, I suggest everybody go out in the field. Like for myself, I'm mostly in the field, and I have 1 or 2 days that I do virtual. You can do it, and try it, right? Try one day, but I suggest everybody go out in the field. Especially if you're new. Oh, okay. All right, guys, if you have any more questions, all of you have my number. If you don't, ask for my number. Somebody will give it to you. You can text me or call me. It is 12 o'clock. So guys, please go crush it today. And we're going to be back on next Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys have a great week.